All right, well, let's get started.
Okay. Welcome back to
It's
episode 20. I
twenty.
cannot believe I'm saying that.
That's
Um,
absolutely insane.
I know if you would have told me 20 episodes ago this is where we were going to be at, I wouldn't have believed you.
No, especially with our numbers that are very
Yes.
good.
Yes.
I think you said tell us a little bit about the numbers.
So I added some numbers up the other day, and with our listeners and our YouTube combined, we are pushing 900, which I think is amazing. And we have like 400, almost 450 um, downloads so far on Apple and Spotify and Google and Amazon. So we are creeping up on 1,000 overall, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
which is
Um,
awesome.
we have also been reached out by some companies. So some things might be changing around here. We don't know yet, but we will have more details about that in the future. But all exciting stuff is happening. And I am very proud of us that we have continued to keep this rolling and to keep doing this with how busy and crazy our lives have been.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's awesome. It's also crazy. We started this in like what, April? Did you
Yes.
say April?
Hmm.
Very crazy because it's been what, like 5 months,
Hmm.
six
Hmm.
months? It's kind of
Yeah.
nuts. Yeah. And I hope that our listeners, you all, are enjoying the content that we're putting out. And of course, if you have any ideas, please let us know. Things that you want to see change, you want to see some more exciting things, any
Hmm.
input, you want to be a guest, let us know.
Yeah.
Um, but that's something that's really cool that I think that we're going to get into today is we're
Hmm.
just going to be talking about our podcast, why we started it. We kind of already talked about that a little bit, like in our trailer and when we were getting started, but we're going to kind of look back on, are we where we thought we would be 5 months ago, or are we not? Like, are we, things have changed, ideas have changed, and then what we're looking forward to in the future, and
Yeah.
then what we do and why this all started. Had to get a start somewhere.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, but before that, let's do our updates. Colleen, what's been going
Yes.
on in your life? You sound
Oh,
awful. Sorry, buddy.
anything and everything. Anything and everything. Um, so yeah, I started my new job last Friday, which would have been October 1st. Yes, exciting. But
Yay.
so this past week, we are recording this on the 10th. So this past week was supposed to be my first full week. I went in on Monday, had a great day. Tuesday came down with some COVID symptoms, and it happened really fast. So didn't go into work Tuesday, and I went to urgent care to get tested for COVID, see what was going on, get some antibiotics in my system. And I don't have COVID, which is great,
Which is good.
obviously,
Yeah.
but I have everything but that. So I got diagnosed with bronchitis, an upper respiratory infection, and a sinus infection. So
Love to see it. You love to see it.
infected.
Yeah.
I have been coughing my head up and I've been so congested. I've been doing a neti pot like twice a day. Um, so I was really low of energy and I was short of breath. They actually gave me like an inhaler. And that's what really scared me just because I had, with all the times throughout COVID that I've been sick, I've never had a breathing issue or anything like that. So I went to take a shower Tuesday night and like it took me like a good hour and a half to 2 hours just to take, I mean, just wash my body, wash my hair, get out. Um,
Yeah.
I like was eating candy in the shower to like keep my sugar up, even just to like be standing. And I have not
Mhm.
been that sick in a very long time. And at the time, was waiting on my test results, so I was like convinced I had COVID. Um,
Right.
and I had a fever, which I'm contagious, and so I ended up missing 3 days of work. But luckily, my job was super cool about it, especially being 2 days into the job.
Yeah.
So awful timing. When it
Yeah.
rains, it pours.
Yeah. Which
Um,
is the story of your life.
yes. So I did not do anything last week other than survive. So today I made a to-do list when I got up and I have been tackling lots of things. Other than that, I have to bring this up just to piss you off, Chris. The cats are 6-0.
uh,
So I'm a very happy person. We had a great game last night. I'm really excited for us to play Georgia on Saturday. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it'll be an interesting
Uh,
one.
I think
Ohio
it
State,
could be good. I think it could be
yeah.
good.
Ohio State has a bye this next weekend, so
Yes. Are you gonna
they're
watch
not
us then?
playing. So I watched last night. I don't know if I told you that.
No, you didn't.
Um, yeah, so my coworker Amelia went to the University of Kentucky, and then my coworker Skylar went to LSU, and she played tennis. And so we're all like a group of like work friends. We're like friends at work, but also friends outside of work.
Yeah.
And so those two, and then Rachel came over to my place, and we watched the game last night.
Oh, yeah, no, you didn't
And
tell me that.
yeah, it was a good game. It was fun to watch.
It
Amelia
was a
was
good game.
obviously very excited. Skylar was not.
Yes.
But it was also cool to just like talk about like different, like of course like I knew some traditions like for UK from you, but like it was cool to talk to Amelia about them. But then also like Skylar was telling us about like LSU
Yeah.
traditions and stuff like that. So it's cool to like listen and watch.
Well, and even just from like, I mean, obviously I've been to Ohio State games, I've obviously been to UK games, and Big Ten, SEC, completely different conferences. And I think that watching an SEC game is just a completely different vibe than watching a Big Ten game.
Mm.
And even the stadiums are completely different as well. So it is interesting. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it could be a good game. It would be crazy if we upset them.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
And Alabama losing yesterday to Texas
I
A&M,
know. I
that
was not
was
expecting that, but I was happy about it.
yeah. And we had gotten word that they had lost like a couple minutes after our game ended. So it was crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, we us Ohio State. Uh we played Maryland yesterday. I don't know if you watched any
I
of the
did.
game.
Yeah.
And yeah, we beat them 66-17. Like that was absolutely insane.
I know.
Because
It's
as we all know, the elephant in the room, Ohio State has not been doing as well this year as they have in the past. But these past couple weeks, I don't know what conversations were had. I
I
don't need
know.
to know, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah,
Something
but it
happened.
makes me frustrated that we lost the first game though, because it's
Yeah.
been blowouts ever since.
I know it was frustrating because we beat Minnesota and then we lost to Oregon, struggled a little bit against Tulsa, and like the Akron game was like good. We should have probably held them to less points, but like the Akron game, the Maryland game, the Rutgers game, absolutely insane.
The Penn State
So
game on the 30th, that's going to be really
it's going to be an
interesting.
interesting one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking to Rachel about that this morning, and I was like, this is what I would like to see in the college football playoff. I was like, number one, I think it is bull that Alabama is ranked above us currently because the new rankings came out. We're 6, Alabama is 5. I think that that's bull because we lost to Oregon. We were ranked number 2, and they were ranked 11 at the time. And Alabama lost to Texas A&M, and they weren't even ranked this week.
Yeah.
And Oregon has 1 loss. Texas A&M has 2. Oregon now has the 1 loss, and they're ranked number like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's stupid. We should
I know.
be
I don't
ahead of them.
understand what all goes into that.
But whatever. And I digress.
Yeah.
But so the rest of our season, I mean, for me, I was hoping that Penn State would win yesterday against Iowa.
Yeah.
Because then that would just look good for us. Because
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
if we played Penn State and we beat them, that would make us look better. But we're playing Penn State. It's going to be a good game. We have Nebraska left on the schedule. They're not ranked.
Indiana.
They're a good team. We have Indiana, also a good team.
Yeah, I'm looking at my
Michigan
calendar
State.
because I wrote them all down.
We have Michigan State, which Michigan State is undefeated. They're ranked they're in the top 10.
Yeah. Did you see that Cincinnati is ranked like 3 right now?
Well, so I'm getting into that in a minute.
Oh, sorry.
So then we also will have Michigan. So we have 2 undefeated teams left on the schedule. 1 and 2 that have like 2 or 3 losses but are good teams, and then we have Penn State that's a 1-loss team. And so it's going to be interesting, and if we win out, I think that we're going to make it to the playoffs. I think that it would be very stupid if we do not, because then most likely we're going to play Iowa in the Big Ten championship game if we win out. which then brings me to, I've heard some talk and people were like, commentators and stuff were chatting and stuff. And even if, like, for us, we need to win out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
But Iowa, if they lose to us in the Big Ten championship game, they can still go to the playoffs. So what I would like to see
A rematch.
is, I would like to see 2 Big Ten teams in the college football playoff, because I think the SEC is overhyped. Sorry, Colleen, but they're overhyped.
I think the Big Ten is overhyped.
You're saying that though. You're saying that, and the thing is like, no offense, but Kentucky's never really been a contender until like this season and like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah. I said we were
and
when
so
my sophomore
it's
year.
always been an Alabama show. Alabama, a couple years it was LSU. It's Georgia, sometimes Florida. Like it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is the first time we've been 6-0 since 1950.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for you all.
I know.
But I would like to
and
see
I just like
Iowa,
rubbing it in your face that we're doing better than you for one more week.
We're still ranked higher. We would kick your ass anyway. So I would like to see Iowa, Ohio State, and also I think I have mixed emotions about Cincinnati, because I'm glad that they're winning. I think it's great that they're doing well, but they're playing no-name schools, so it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
That
I don't think they should be ranked 3.
No.
Yeah.
But I think if they make it to the playoffs, I think that would be really cool, because that's 2 Ohio schools that would be in the playoffs, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I want Ohio State and Cincinnati to play this weekend. What? But
that'd be funny. We do plan on having a sports podcast episode here in the future.
Yeah, we were just getting heated. We haven't talked about it. But real quick, speaking of, I was watching the Cincinnati Bengals game today, and I was getting so mad because there were literally 5 missed field goals in the last, 3 missed field goals in the last 2.5 minutes, and then they went to overtime. And everybody, we were playing the Packers, and so we kept going back and forth on who was getting it, and everybody just kept missing field goals and everything. And then Green Bay ended up getting a field goal, so then we lost.
Yeah.
But Cincinnati's been doing really well this year in the NFL, so no complaints. As a Cincinnati Bengals fan, it has been a long time coming, because we have a lot of rough years, and it's hard to watch.
That is facts. That is facts.
Yeah.
Well, circling back around, Chris, what are your updates? We got off on
my
a tangent
updates.
there.
So those are some of my updates. But work has been getting into gear. We have a couple new people coming on this week. And I have a couple trips that are coming up for work soon. Booked my flights. I'm going to Missouri for a meeting in November. And it's the first weekend in November. And then we have a big event that I'm going to be helping put on the first week of November. And so it's getting really busy over here. And so I'm excited. I think it's going to be good stuff. I'm excited to meet members and talk to people and stuff like that. So it'll be cool. And also just be able to travel for work like I would normally, instead of being very stationary. And then we have our big annual convention coming up in January in Atlanta, so that'll be fun. Gearing up and stuff, getting stuff ready for that. A whole bunch of different meetings and things. We had our board meeting last week, so I was able to see some of the people that I work with, some of the members that I work with a lot that I see on Zoom, but I was able to see them in person.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. And I mentioned last week that Rachel and I found our place that we were going to live and everything. Well, we did another apartment and then that kind of changed. But so I'm excited. We officially found a place. We're applying for it this week. We're set to go. It's a big apartment and it's really nice, and it has a fireplace, which I'm very excited about, because we are talking about how we can decorate for Christmas and have our own stockings on the mantle.
That and just with DC getting snow, just having the fireplace on and just being cozy.
Just being all cozied up. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be really cool. It's a gated community. It's super nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm glad it's getting. I shouldn't say this. It was 82 here today. I'm so ready for consistent fall weather.
Same. I agree. So, I am very ready for it. But tomorrow, some friends and I are going and doing some fall activities. And we're going to go to a pumpkin patch in an orchard that's down in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So that'll be nice. And Fredericksburg is also where there is a cookout. So we are going to cookout tomorrow, and I could cry because I'm so excited.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
For those that don't know what cookout is, it is a Southern fast food chain restaurant that has literally anything and everything that you can think of.
For so cheap.
For cheap, sandwiches, cheeseburgers, grilled cheese, quesadillas, fries, onion rings, cheese curds, everything. They got everything. And they have cheer wine, and I love cheer wine.
Yes.
Stuff I could put that. You know, I've seen a lot of TikToks where people have like, they're like, you know what, I like fountain drinks so much that like I'm just gonna get a fountain drink machine in my kitchen. I would have a fountain drink machine in my kitchen for cheer wine.
Just 110%. Cheer wine, and if I could have like McDonald's Sprite, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, yep. McDonald's Sprite and McDonald's Coke and cheer wine, I would be set. I don't even drink pop that much, but I just to have the idea of it's there when I want it, we're good.
I know. I hate that Kentucky doesn't sell cheer wine. Like they only sell it at very select places. Like I hate that you can't just like go to a Speedway and get one in a can.
I know. I don't even think that they sell them like, well, they don't sell it in Northern Virginia, but like I'm thinking about starting to buy them on Amazon because like I just love it so much. It's so good.
I know. All right, well, let's dive into our topic for this week because we've been rambling on for like 20 minutes.
Sorry.
It's all good. We haven't recorded in 2 weeks, so we have some stuff to say.
Some things to talk about.
But yeah, I want to jump us off here. So Chris and I, we're going to talk about today, we said earlier, but about why we started this podcast and everything. So the way that this all came about, Chris and I, for years, since we were in high school, thought it would be really cool to have our own podcast. It would come up, I feel like once every like 6 months or so. We would talk about it. Maybe
talk about what we would wanted to say, do, kind of thing.
Yeah, but nothing ever came of it. We never put it into action. It was just a spoken thing that never happened. So for school, with being a broadcast and multimedia journalism major, one of my assignments for my capstone class was to start a podcast and to create a name for it, record a trailer, and then also record the first episode. And a lot of people were teaming up with people in my class and stuff. A lot of people were doing theirs by themselves. And I was like, oh my God, this is our chance. So I called Chris and I was like, all right, crazy idea. Like, just hang on, okay? And I pitched it and I was like, let's just do it for my class. We'll do the first episode and the trailer. If we absolutely hate it, we don't ever have to do it ever again. I get an A, we say we tried.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Win-win.
I was like, or the alternative, it goes great, we love it, and we keep doing it. And it obviously went great. Here we are 20 episodes later. But thinking back now, if I wouldn't have had to do that for that class, I don't know if we ever would have started it.
I feel like we might have. I feel like it was like a 60% chance that we would have. But honestly, but also like where I am with like my life, like I think I'd be like calling them too busy.
Oh yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like if we waited until like now, like you have a job, you have a big girl job and everything now, like we're busy people. But I'm glad that we started it also like when we did.
Yes.
Because I think that it worked out perfectly where I had gotten into the flow of my job. I had been there for 4 or 5. No, God, oh my God. No, I was like 7 months.
Yeah.
At that point. And so I was into the flow of it. I got the hang of it. We're Gucci, going about it, sailing. And then like you were in the works of still working on like your book. You had just finished classes. Like you were like,
I was graduating
the summer to yourself, like trying to like get stuff ready.
Trying to find a job.
And you had a little bit more extra time to be able to focus on doing like a lot of the behind the scenes kind of stuff. Yeah. And so now
for a while
I think
there,
that it worked.
Yeah. And like, the way we started out was, Chris, I'll edit it. I'll take care of the social media. Let's just get on a consistent schedule. So our big priority for these past 20 episodes was we have to post every Thursday. That was our big commitment to each other. And it was tough. It was tough recording some
it
weeks.
was tough sometimes.
And like, yeah, I mean, as you guys, if you guys are consistent listeners of us, I mean, yeah, there was a couple weeks where we had to take off and we didn't plan to. And
Life just gets in
it
the
was
way.
hard. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
hard. So, yeah, I'm proud of us that we have
Mhm.
navigated through all of these changes. It'll be interesting to see what happens once I start working 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. because that's gonna be our next hurdle.
Yeah.
But after that, we can sail smoothly for like 2 years.
Oh yeah, we're set, girl. We're good.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think it's cool though. Also, the thing is like you said, sometimes like it was hard to like do it because like, but I mean, like, you know, like I said, life just gets in the way, and sometimes you know what, you need a mental health week. Sorry, like, you
Yeah.
know, it just happens, and sometimes like you're sick or
Yeah.
like
Well, and that's why we
you
implemented
know,
taking, like we'll take a week off. We will not post next week because this is our
right.
20th episode. We started doing that at our 10th one, obviously. Every 10, we
Mhm.
decided we'll take a week off, which is perfect for us because like we have so much brainstorming, so many changes we want to make happen.
Mhm.
Now that we have proven to ourselves that we can consistently upload every week.
Right. And I think that that's good too, because I think like it also like spices things up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just now, like last week, implemented doing like, instead of doing hour-long episodes every week, we don't need to do that. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like we can still have, we can cover so many other topic areas and everything by having an hour one week, 30 minutes the next, an hour the
Yep.
next, 30 minutes. And so I think that that's another thing to spice it up. I'm going to start taking over the social media. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a great thing because we're giving and taking,
Yes.
where it's like now that we're set and we're good and we're going to be doing this and this is something that we really care about and something that we really want to continue doing, it's like stepping stones into the
Mm-hmm.
future. So
Yeah.
I like it. I think that we've done a good job. High five.
Virtual high five. Yes. Well, that was my next question. Because we talked about so many topics we wanted to cover when we started this. We had a whole list. I feel like we went through that list so fast.
So
Um,
fast.
yeah, and like I was telling Chris before we started recording, even just looking back at our trailer on YouTube that we made back in March, I always turn it off real quick because I'm like, who are these people? Like, we just
Yeah.
are like, hi, we're Chris and Colleen, and we're starting a
Yeah.
podcast.
So like
Like,
precise and
yes, and like
yeah,
now we're
like
so relaxed, and like we've gotten
yeah.
so used to doing this every week or so. Um, yeah, it's just crazy how I'm really
Yeah.
curious to see what it's going to be like after we've been doing it for a year because I think we're
Well,
going to be just shocked.
I think that's something too that like other podcasters go through too. Like it's just like
Oh
a
yeah.
matter of learning too. Like, cause I think that like when you and I went into it, we had the expectation. Well, number one, we started doing it because we were showing it was for your grade.
Hmm.
So like, I don't know how they would have felt about us wearing sweatshirts,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
everything, but like it's just making it into what you want it to be, kind of
Hmm.
thing, and like knowing that we have an audience and
Hmm.
apparently they care about what we have to say.
Yeah.
And so and we're thankful, but like also this is what we're making it to what we want to be. This is like our whole thing from the get-go that I really like that we've stayed with is we just want it to be a casual conversation.
Hmm.
Nothing,
Yeah.
no like TED Talks, nothing like
No.
that, like just casual
Yeah.
conversations. And
We
so
go on tangents every once in a while,
we
but that's
do.
bound to
Well,
happen.
we do. Sometimes, you know, we're strongly opinionated people. Like,
Yes. Yes. Well, and like my favorite part has definitely been I am so impressed with how many guests that we've already had. Um,
yeah.
within these 20 episodes. I mean, I am just so grateful for the people that have created time for us to be on here. And I'm very excited to see who we can have on here in the future as well.
Yeah. And I've had a couple past guests in the last couple weeks that want to come back on, which I think
Hmm.
would be cool. Stanley was giving me a little lecture the other day. He was like, "How many times have you had Josie on compared to me?" And I was like, "The same amount."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I thought she was on 2 episodes." I said, "Yeah, it was like it was a continued episode. Like it
Yeah.
was about religion." And I was like, "You want to come back on? What do you want to
Oh
talk
my
about?"
God. Our friends are going to start arguing. That's funny.
I know. And I'm excited to like get more. We have like a lot of different ideas for stuff, and I'm excited to continue having that. I like this, that you and I can just sit and talk
Mm-hmm.
and talk to our viewers and interact with them and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I also really like being able to, occasionally have like a nice guest on, do something fun kind of thing.
Yeah. Well,
Stuff
and
like that.
not to get sappy on you, but
Oh no, here it goes.
I really appreciate that, like, with how busy our lives have been, we're forced to keep up with each other every week. Like, we
Oh
are
yeah.
forced to talk every week. And before we started this podcast, I mean, we would go like, 3 weeks to a month, just a simple like text or something, like without FaceTiming or anything, which was super weird for us.
Very weird.
Because we were either together every day or FaceTiming at least once a week at minimum. So when you started the job, I remember like October to like January when you started, I hardly heard from you, which I totally understood. But it
Right.
has been nice that, like, with how busy our lives have been, like, yeah, I doubt that we would be talking this much
No.
and prioritizing it this much. So I'm grateful that, like, yeah, I get to hear what your update is every week. Sometimes I learn things just from your updates on the podcast. So
I know. Well, and I agree. I really like that, and I think that that's something too that I thought about a little bit, but I didn't think like too much into of like the past couple weeks. I've been like, like honestly, this past week, we didn't. We were gonna meet last week. Life happened. We
mhm,
couldn't. But we had recorded 2 episodes the week before, and so I literally thought the other day, I was like, "Wow, I have not talked to Colleen like on the
almost
phone
two
in a long
weeks.
time. I'm
Yeah.
having separation anxiety."
Hmm.
And so it was kind of nuts, but like it's nice because like you're obviously my best friend, and I would like to think that I'm
Shut up.
yours. But it's nice because like I feel like this has also made our friendship has always been strong,
Hmm.
and especially like these past like 2 years, like 3 years, four, well, how many ever, I don't know. Like I would say these past like 2 years, like we've really, really, really gotten a lot closer to
Hmm.
like, however that happens, because we've been close this whole entire like
Yeah.
our whole friendship. But I really think this podcast has also brought us a lot closer too,
Hmm. Well, and
because we
we were
talk all the
hitting,
time.
yeah, when we were hitting points of our life too, of like, this point where we're both at is such a vulnerable area. And it was like, okay, we can either
Mhm.
grow apart or we can grow together. And
Right.
the podcast has definitely helped us grow together.
Right. And honestly, like you live in Kentucky full time now. I'm
Hmm.
living here in Northern Virginia, DC area, and I don't think our relationship has changed at all.
No, like,
At all.
It is weird not seeing you, but yet I also feel like I see you.
Yeah.
If that makes
Like,
sense.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. 'Cause it's like when I saw you, when was the last time I saw you? Memorial Day? No. Your graduation party. June.
June,
I mean,
last week of June.
I had just seen you in like Memorial Day, but like when I saw you at Memorial Day, I was like, I feel like I see this girl all the time.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah,
wasn't like weird.
no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So I
I
mean,
know where.
you still have to deal with me every single day. I still tell you life updates like occasionally when I'm like, you'll never guess what freaking happened to me today.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I like told Kat and my sister and a couple other people, like every Thursday or Friday of every week, I'm just going to reach out and say, hey, how are you? How was your week? Do you have plans for the
Mhm.
weekend?
Yeah.
Just with getting on a routine with my job and everything, I just don't want to go completely dark.
Right.
And I just need to do a better job of keeping up with people anyways. And it's
Yeah.
funny because you don't end up in that round of text messages because I've already talked to you by Thursday or Friday. And I already know what you're doing for the weekend and what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's something too that like I really want to like start working on. I said that I wanted to start working on this like a month ago, but I really need to like try. Is like calling my friends that don't
Yeah.
live here more. Like
Yeah. Well, like
I needed to like
literally,
get on a schedule with like Kat. I need to do that with
yeah.
like my grandmas. Like I need to do it with a couple people.
Yeah.
But
Well, like I literally just set a reminder in my phone for every Thursday at like 4 p.m., like around when I get off work. Um,
mhm,
to like reach out. And like if I haven't heard from you that week, then I'll reach out. But if I've already heard from you,
yeah.
whatever. And like I told my sister, I was like, if you don't respond by Friday evening, I'm assuming you're dead and I'm gonna go on a manhunt for you. I don't know anybody in Pittsburgh that I could hunt her down with, but I will figure out a way.
Yeah. That's
So
funny.
yeah, and it's super
Yeah.
weird because like my parents, I mean, they've been empty nesters, but not really because
Right.
I come home, I would move home every summer. I'm home for like a month over like Christmas break and stuff. And like this is the longest they haven't seen me in a while. So they were like, my
Yeah.
mom, she called me today and she was like, oh my God, like we're like full on empty nesters now. Like it's weird because you're still in Kentucky, like things didn't change a whole
Right.
lot, but I can't come home as often as I was able to.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's like something too that like my Rachel and I were talking about this week. Like with our schedule and like we have to be in the office a specific amount of times like a week. Like I'm only going to be able to be home for like 5 days for Thanksgiving and
mhm,
honestly probably only 5 days for Christmas because
yeah.
I have to come back here.
Mhm.
And so like that kind of stinks, but also at the same time I'm like being an adult,
Yeah. Well,
getting into like life.
I don't think that the holidays are gonna like seem weird to me this year. Even though
Yeah.
I did have like a month off, I had like the whole month of December off last year for school.
Yeah.
But I think the summer is really gonna be when it kicks in.
It's weird. It is
Yeah.
weird. Yeah. Especially because like you've been summer has always been your time to just chill.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's not gonna be
Well, and
that now.
I feel like I mean for what over 12 years, my brain has always just been like just get to May. Just get to May and then you can check your mental health and you can reboot and get ready for
Hmm.
August. Yeah, it'll be weird.
Yeah. It'll be good though. It'll be good.
Hmm.
It's a harder transition, but it's good.
Yeah.
I would say. I would say also like something that's absolutely insane is this next Saturday, the 16th, is my 1 year at my job.
I know. I can't believe that.
What?
I can't believe that.
What? Like
Yeah.
that is insane.
Uh-huh.
And then the weekend of Thanksgiving is my 1 year in DC.
Hmm. Yeah. My mom and I were talking about that the other day, and I was like, that doesn't even seem possible to me.
No, I cannot believe that. But so like Rachel and I were talking, and I was like, honestly, like this year has been a whirlwind, and I feel like it
Hmm.
really hasn't happened, but it has at the same time. But like also like I can tell like a difference in myself now comparatively to a year ago.
I would
Like
hope so.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But like I can see that because it's just like your first year of being into your career, you just learn so much that
I
is
know. I feel
it's
like a
crazy.
sponge right now. Like, just
You
give
are
me
a
all the
sponge.
info. Yeah.
You are a
Yeah.
sponge. I'm still a sponge. I am 1 year into my career. I'm still a sponge. I'm probably going to be like that. Honestly, you should be like that your entire career. But I was
Yeah.
going to, until you get to like year 5, 6 in a
Hmm.
career, then, honestly, maybe even like year 10. But yeah, it's crazy. But
Hmm.
rounding it back to the podcast, I think that the podcast
Yes.
has also helped me grow as a
Oh yeah.
person
Oh yeah.
because just like hearing our guests' opinions and what they
Hmm.
talk about and taking in that knowledge and honestly like relaying that and like relating that to stuff that I do every day for work or even
Hmm.
just interactions that I have with people.
Hmm.
So
That, and I think
it's been a good year.
yeah. Well, it's kind of some normalcy a little bit, especially like um starting it after COVID. I mean, just interacting with people as much as possible. I feel like just
Mhm.
helps us all, and whether it's via Zoom or not. Um,
Yeah.
so that's been good too. And I'm excited to see. I definitely expect some changes
Yeah.
within the
Good,
next couple of weeks. So,
good
like Chris said,
changes.
he's going to be taking over the social media. So our social media might get a little makeover. We definitely want to start implementing some more stuff with that. I know
Add a
something.
little spice.
Yes, I know something that we definitely are going to start doing that Chris and I've already talked about is we want to start like a highlight reel on our Instagram
Mhm.
highlights, and doing like a little snippet about our guest that we're going to have on. So that's something that you guys can look forward to. I'm really excited because even though I'm passing off the Instagram, I'm going to start taking over TikTok. Um, I feel like there's so room for growth there. And I feel like we've gotten, a good audience of people that we know. And I'm excited to use TikTok to try to pull in audience of people that we don't know.
Yeah.
Which speaking of this, oh my God, Chris, how did we forget this part? We have our first viewer overseas. How did we forget
Okay,
that?
I don't know. So, hello, Poland.
Yes.
It's nice to meet you virtually. Thanks for listening. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I think that's like one of our biggest celebration points to date.
hmm
We have been saying for the past couple weeks that especially me, I've been like, I really want to get someone that's overseas.
Yeah.
Like, I want to
Yeah.
get like a different
Well,
person.
our
And
first milestone, like our first big goal was we wanted to get 25 states. And we did that like episode 12,
early, yeah,
14, somewhere around there.
yeah,
So then after that, obviously we want to get all 50 states because that's cool. Um,
right.
but yeah, they Chris started being like, I really want to see like another continent or like another country light up. And
Yeah.
I hopped on the other day, I think it was sometime last week, and I sent him a video on Snapchat freaking out and was like, we did it.
I was in Rachel's living room when I found out and I opened it and I got jumped up off the couch. I was like so excited. I was like, oh my God, we have a listener in
We
Poland.
Good thing we didn't take bets on what country it was going to be because I would have never guessed
I would not
Poland.
have guessed Poland. I
No.
would have said UK, the
Yeah.
UK, Ireland, I don't
Yeah.
know. But hello, Poland. We're happy you're here.
I know. I'm so excited. Yeah. How we
Wonderful.
like forgot to add that in at the beginning? I don't know.
I don't
Um,
know.
but yeah, back to what I was saying. Hopefully with TikTok,
Yeah.
we have more people from other countries. So
Yeah.
I'm
And
excited.
then
And
Colleen, I'm assuming you'll put our app here. So check us
yes,
out on TikTok
I believe
and
it's.
follow us.
Let me
I
pull
think
it up
it's
on my
just
phone
Candid
real quick.
Chats CNC.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I was going. Yeah, it's just Hannah Chats with CC is our at, just no spaces, no and sign between the C and C. But I will add that onto the screen for sure. But I'm also hoping to give you guys a more behind the scenes look of what it takes for us to make this podcast happen, because we are a little weird, of we're like a little different than other podcasts, of we are completely virtual, obviously. We don't have a studio that we go into. Literally our equipment is our laptops, our phones, and our AirPods. That's
Yeah.
all that it takes for us to do this. So I'm hoping to give you guys a little bit more of a behind the scenes of like what goes on behind these two little boxes that you see every week. And we've talked about like, me taking you like a day in my life, Chris a day in his life in DC. Yeah, we have some exciting stuff planned for TikTok that I think we're going to start implementing, which is really exciting.
Yeah. I'm excited. I feel good because we're on episode 20. We have established ourselves of this is what we're doing. We're having fun. We're growing in listeners. We over like all platforms, we're pushing 900.
Mm-hmm.
So we are definitely in the still the phase of like establishing ourselves and making the foundation, but I think we've basically created the foundation. And so now getting to interact more with our viewers and our listeners, I think that that's going to be super wonderful. And I want them to get to know us more personally. I think that they already do because we ramble enough about
Yes.
ourselves.
Yes.
But yeah, just making like a more personal connection and then just also giving people the knowledge now that we're on episode 20, we can share. Like if anyone's ever thinking about creating a podcast, we're here to listen and help you and
Yes.
guide you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy, but full sends.
Yeah.
You say,
Mm-hmm.
like, if you're thinking about doing full send it, do it.
Yeah, just do it. I know a lot of people have told me or asked me about like, aren't you afraid about people talking crap about it or creating rumors or just stuff like that? And my advice always is that's going to happen no matter what. You're always going to have haters, and they're always going to want to hate. That's what they do. And that's definitely something that we have not let slow us down at all. If anything, we have definitely 100% for sure gotten a lot more good feedback than what we have bad. And I'm open to the bad feedback too. I mean,
exactly.
we're not perfect,
I think
we're learning.
No, yeah, exactly. We're not perfect. We're not trying to be perfect. That's just not us as humans. And luckily though, knock on wood, I have received more good feedback than I don't even know if I've received bad feedback. I can tell you that I'm sure that people have not said wonderful things about us or our podcast, but that's fine. Like everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But I agree with you.
Well, it's something.
Don't let it slow you down.
It's something that we really try to create a safe space here on this podcast to talk about whatever you want and however you feel, and that's a part of that. So
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Something that I am very proud of us for sticking by, and this is something that we've kind of talked about behind the scenes, not really with you guys on the podcast. A big thing when we started this out was we want it to be fun. I do not want this to feel like I'm showing up for a second job. Like I don't want this to be a stressor in my life. We started this to have fun. And our 10th episode, we took a week off and we went to go back to start recording again. And I said to Chris, how do you feel about taking off another week? Because I'm not having fun anymore. And with doing interviews for the job and everything, I think I was going on vacation soon, and it just was becoming a lot. And he was like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. Like, our viewers will understand, it'll be fine, we're gonna come back. And I don't think that was something we ever really explained in detail when we did take that longer break than what we planned on doing. But I was kind of nervous when we were coming back after that. I think we ended up taking off 3 weeks total, and at least from recording. But yeah, when we came back, I was so excited. We had so many ideas after that, and it was definitely like the just reboot that we needed. So I'm very proud with just how crazy our lives have been, that we have kept that space for us.
Yeah, and I think that it's like super understandable for like podcasters to take a break after so many episodes or whatever. And like that, like especially for us, like hitting 10 episodes for us at that time was a big milestone, because we were like,
oh yeah, that was huge.
We've done 10 episodes. That's crazy.
I had so many people reach out to us that was like, yeah, a lot of podcasters don't even make it this far.
Yeah. And so I think we deserved a break. And also we were still in the like part where we were transitioning into getting into podcasting still. Like now, I don't feel like we need to take a break. I mean, like a week break, yes, but like we don't need to take a month, because, but like a week break, yeah, because then we want to make all these changes and we want to talk about the future of the podcast and what we want to see in the future, what we want to happen. So taking a week to be able to just navigate that, talk about it, sit down and map that out for the next 10 episodes, take a week break, map out the next 10, go from there and just keep going. And I think that it's good. I'm still excited. Like my momentum has not changed since then. A good break in the beginning of like navigating into that. Great, wonderful. It was great. No complaints. But now I think that we're still in the stage of that we're used to this. This is what it is. And this is what we want.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about one of my own personal milestones that I'm proud of myself about. I'm the one that edits all of these. So I get to watch them back, which is always fun, critiquing and editing yourself and being like, oh, I should have said that there. Or like, oh, I should have worded this way. Just stuff that the normal human brain does. And within editing our like first 10 episodes, I was like, I am saying every other sentence. I did not even realize how much I was saying it until I sat down to edit the podcast. And I don't even think you realized how bad it was either. I almost said it there, but there was one episode, I want to say it was the one that we did about getting our jobs. I could barely sit through and edit it. Like I was like, if I have a listener listening to this right now, I'm going to hop off because she's saying so much that I can't even comprehend what she's saying.
I didn't even realize.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I didn't realize till I sat down.
Let's make a TikTok of it.
Literally, I could have. Just that episode, I could. And that episode was longer too. It was like an hour and 15 minutes, I think. So, it was awful. I was like, I want to sit through and edit all these out, but I can't. And like, it would just look weird.
Yeah.
So that's something I am proud of myself. I'm only catching myself doing it 1, 2, 3 times now. So I'm very proud of myself for that.
Are there words that I'm saying a lot?
I don't think so. No. I mean, you say them sometimes too. You do say like a lot. Yeah.
I do say like a lot.
But I've been trying to get comfortable with just having the silence. I think it's just a part of my ADD of like, I just got to get it out. And my brain's going so fast. It's going faster than my mouth. So yeah, I'm proud of myself for that, especially with my job. I don't want to be saying all the time because I think it just makes you sound illiterate. So Proud of myself for that. We're doing it less.
I'm proud of you. We didn't even talk about that.
It's hard to be conscious about it.
It is. It is hard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something my mom is really good at. She's really good of just like sitting in the silence and like you can tell she's thinking. So no one butts in and talks like over top of her, I feel like. So I was really paying attention to how she was speaking when we had her on the podcast. Because I was like, I want to do that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Go Tina. We love Tina.
To wrap this up, I want to talk about what I'm most excited for. We're about 45 minutes in here. So I am so excited for the holiday season for this podcast. Holidays in general.
Me too.
But Chris and I have been brainstorming some juicy ideas. And I'm so excited.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be great. Our viewers should be excited. We're going to give some appreciation back to the viewers. We want to thank you all, especially with it being our 20th episode. We want to say thank you and give back to you all, and just obviously again say thank you for the support. We appreciate it, and we're glad that you're along for the ride. We don't feel like we're doing this by ourselves. We have a community of people that are around us that like to listen to what we have to say. So I think it'll be a really cool opportunity. It's also an opportunity for us to connect back with previous guests.
Yes.
To support their businesses and do something fun.
Yes. If you caught that foreshadowing there. Yeah, I'm so excited. Well, and I always get so excited for Christmas. I mean, I feel like everyone does, but to me, like Halloween and Thanksgiving just kind of like are leading up to Christmas. But
it's
I feel like
the season.
I feel like because of this podcast, I'm going to be excited for all three.
Yeah, we need to do a Halloween like themed episode.
I was just about to say, Chris, we got some talking to do after this.
Should we wear our Halloween costumes?
I thought about it.
Ooh.
I was about to say that.
I think that'd be cool. Also, speaking of Christmas, I've been thinking the past week, I want to know what you're getting me for Christmas because you talked about it. Kat and I are getting the same thing. I want to know.
Then it's not a surprise.
I know. I kind of thought about it and I was like, I feel like I know what it is.
I doubt it.
Is it like one of those like charging stations for like your AirPods, Apple Watch, and iPhone? Oh, okay. Just kidding.
Where did you get that from?
I don't know, because I think that Kat and I both talked about it.
No, you're thinking too hard.
Okay. Never mind, I guess.
Only thing I am giving you is that it will be custom ordered.
Oh.
That's all I can share.
I need to figure out what I'm gonna get you for Christmas. Yes. I need to go to that one store.
I already know what I'm getting Kat for her birthday. So I'm very proud of myself. Yes.
But anyway, as you can tell, we're excited for the holiday season.
Yeah. I'm excited for it to start getting cold, so it feels like the holiday season.
True.
And for this to stop. For my listeners, I just circled around my face. If the sickness could stop. Yeah, which I do want to apologize for my coughing and my sniffling and everything. That might be more annoying than the ums. So I do apologize for that throughout this episode. But yes. All
good. Wow. This has been fun. A trip down memory lane, talking about a couple months, talking about our child, the podcast.
I know. When I was trying to remember, like the last episode we did in person, we haven't had an in-person episode in a minute.
Been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I want to say it was in June. I think we recorded 2 in June at my house.
Yeah. That has to be it.
We'll
get back together soon.
We'll
be getting back together soon. So, well, it's been fun to chat and talk about.
Here's to the next 20.
Here's to the next 20.
The next 20. I know, it's funny.
With water.
Yes. Yes. But it's funny because it has become like our baby for sure.
It has.
Yeah. And one of us always texts like on Friday or Saturday, when are we recording this week?
Yeah, what's the plan?
What's the plan? What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. So it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see our future.
Yes, me too.
So, well, this has been fun, everyone. Happy 20th episode, Colleen. It's been great.
Yes.
Hello, Poland. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you all. Have a great week and
Yes.
weekend, and peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.